Guys, I want to hop on tonight. I'm going to have a special guest on here tonight. His name is Dr. B. Sirius. And you can read all the way into that because we're talking about a lot of stuff encoded into that name. All right. Sirius B, first of all, is a failed star. Started running out of fuel that the Dogon tribe say the Nomo came from to speak to them out in Mali, Africa, back in ancient times. And Doctah, with the AH, we're talking about now we're going back into the Kemetic tongues. This guy really has it going on. He's a very special person. I've been blessed to be able to know him. And not only that, I'm doing a huge workshop with him at the beginning of the year. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Dr. B. Sirius. Let's see here if I can get him on the request. Dr. B, click on request to join so I can bring you on this live and we can talk to the people. It's going to be an amazing workshop, January the 7th. It's going to be approximately 10 hours of class, 10 hours of teaching some of the most incredible topics, everything you need to be able to make it into 2023 and actually beyond. And so from my part, I'll be talking a lot about how to alchemically convert energy in your body, like how to alchemically convert sacral chakra energy into crown chakra energy, how to utilize that in your manifestation, how to literally flip-flop the way that you've been using your energy and your power inside of your own body. A lot of people have been operating purely out of the sacral chakra without even realizing it. We got to get you to the crown chakra, all right? Which is why it's so important. Also, we have to also talk to you about how do you understand the spirituality part of you and the part of you that's living in the matrix. How do those two actually work together? How do they combine? Okay. And so in other words, how do I understand the spirit aspect of what is inhabiting my avatar body? And how does my spirit body inhabitate my avatar body? How does it control it? Because without the spirit, the body would just lay limp, just like the movie Avatar. Your spirit actually animates this body. We're going to talk about that and how it's imbued with divine power and that you literally become a version of God walking in the flesh. You are a fractal of the whole, which means you are God. It's just that you are like a radio station, 99.1, 99.2. You're a dot point number of the fractal of the whole, walking around here with divinity and power in your body. How do you access that? We're going to talk about that. Let me see if I can get Dr. B on here so I can get him to request to go live with me. Dr. B, where are you? Just give me a comment in the bottom here, Dr. B, so I can actually send you a request for you to accept. It may be easier for you that way. So type something in the chat, and then I will actually add you in that way. But I saw somebody say, so God is real? Oh, yeah, God is real. You are God. I just saw that in the comments. Yes, God is definitely real. God is definitely real. How do I okay, I added you as a moderator. How do I send you a request to join? Okay, no, that's not it there. Well, you're a moderator now, but you got to click at some point, Dr. B, you got to find where it says request to join. Maybe you can click one of the icons in the bottom of your chat, and it should give you an option to request to join this chat. All right. Let's see here. I see everybody else. A lot of people are requesting to join this chat, but I need Dr. B on this chat. So it should be at the bottom. There we go. Invite to join. I just clicked you an invite, Dr. B. I just sent you an invite request. So see if you can click on that. Let's see. Invite. Oh, I know what's happening, Dr. B. You don't have the latest version of Instagram installed. That's why. Just told me. Instagram just told me why you can't get on. You got to update your Instagram app. All right? Your app is out of date. Once you update your app, then you can get on, join this live. So you got to go to your app store, upgrade your app. But anyway, back to what I was saying, guys. So how does your spirit body animate this avatar body? What is the mechanism that's used for that to happen? And then beyond that, how do you use that divine energy, that spark that created everything in the universe that's now in your body? How do you use that to actually help create your own reality? How? I'm going to teach you that in my workshop, January the 7th. The link is in the bio. The Blueprint for God Power workshop. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be myself and Dr. B. Sirius teaching for almost 10 hours. We're going to give you a little bathroom break, a little water break. If you can't sit down for the whole 10 hours, don't worry. All you have to do is just re-watch it because it's autoplay. You can watch it over and over and over and over again. You don't have to worry about not being able to actually see the actual show for the full straight 10 hours. You have replay for life. Unlimited replays. I know when I used to go teach a lot of these classes and workshops in person before the sickness hit the land, people would be in there writing nonstop. And while they're writing, I'm speaking. And then while I'm speaking, they're missing out on what I'm saying next because they're still trying to remember what I said prior. So the beautiful thing about these virtual workshops and classes that we do now, if you want to find something good that came out of that global sickness, people can join in from anywhere in the world. They can learn just as well if they were there in person. You save on airfare, you save on hotel, you save on Ubers and food. At the same time, you can re-watch it over and over again. You can pause it, listen to the information, take notes, do study and research, come back to where you left off and go right back in. Something that you typically can't do when you go to a live event. A lot of the times at live events, we forbid you to even record. We let people make little short clips here and there, but nobody can just sit there and record the whole show, the whole conference, right? Because then, what's the point? So when you have a virtual class like this, you have the capability of actually watching it, learning from it, pausing it, rewinding it, fast forwarding it, going back to where you left off, and everything else. Also, another beautiful thing, this actual full workshop is hosted on Forbidden Knowledge TV for anyone who bought an Eventbrite ticket. So when you go to log in, it will show up on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Samsung TVs. We're on Samsung TVs now, like the TV behind me. That's a Samsung TV. You just go to the Samsung TV app store, type in Forbidden Knowledge with the number 4. The app pops right up, open it up. And if you paid on Eventbrite, you can watch the whole 8 to 10 hour workshop. And plus, there's 6,000 other shows in there you can watch as well. So you're not just limited to that one thing, right? So it's just, there's no way you can say, I can't see it, all right? So Dr. B's got his app updated. He's going to log back in. And then we're going to see if we can get him on this live real quick so we can talk for a few more minutes about what we're going to be talking about in this workshop.
Yes.
What's happening, man? What's happening?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Good, fantastic. I was just talking to Brother Rich tonight about how you get pushback. When something great is about to happen, when something enlightening is about to happen, when some amazing situation is about to happen in your life, you're about to get to the next level or get some vital information, there's pushback. Just like the app wasn't updated, so it wouldn't work. They couldn't get you on the live. Some people would have said, you know what? Might have said, he can't get on. I'm just going to get off of here. Some people who are actually hosting a live like I'm hosting, man, we can't get them on. Forget about it. I'll end this live fast and we'll try to get them to fix it another day. But what do? When the pushback comes in life, you power through it. You power through it. You take a few seconds. You take a deep breath. You figure out what is the solution to the problem. And once you analyze the solution, how can we fix the problem? And you obviously fought through that little bit of pushback. You fixed the problem. So the people that stayed on and were able to ignore their consciousness, telling them, man, didn't have a technical difficulty. I'll hop off of this right now. They're not ready. And now here you are. You see what I'm saying? The pushback, man, when you get the pushback, that's when you got to push through. So once again, guys, here's Dr. B. Sirius. He's going to be hosting this amazing workshop, Blueprint for God Power. The link is in the bio on my account and his account. Make sure you register. Space is limited. It's only so much bandwidth we can have, but we're going to give you 9 to 10 hours of incredible teaching on January the 7th. What are you going to be talking about, Dr. B?
Well, I'm going to talk about that thing right there that you just mentioned, the pushback. You know, if you look at how diamonds are made, you know, it's oil that, you know, over, you know, millions of years, the pressure, the heat, you know, that's going to become coal. And after a while, the coal is going to become diamonds. But what we got to realize is that pressure, that trial, that tribulation that makes you great. But, you know, when you think that, you know, you could just push a button and everything just works and it's just perfect, otherwise you give up, you fail. You see, so when you meet some of the most, you know, successful people in the world, they have been through a lot of trial, a lot of tribulation, and they don't take no for an answer. So you can't stop just because you tried something 10 times and it didn't work, because it could be that 11th time that you strike gold, because you're always 3 feet from gold. And we were born with this divinity code in our genes, in our cells, in every part of us. You know, my logo has the flower of life, and that's the life we have found in everything that you can study. You're going to end up with the flower of life in it, within it. That's what we call divinity code. That sacred geometry says that you are a part of the whole, which is what you might be calling God. You know, how could you separate from it? How could you pray to it when it's in you and we are of it? So we're going to be talking about how to go in and to realize that you are, you know, what's in you. Everything that you need is within you. It's just a matter of being able to decode it and use it and not give up. And it's that repetition, you know, trying over and over and over till you're actually doing. You see, but that part, you know, when we were raised, you know, they told us that it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be hard. You're probably going to lose. It's going to be tough. See, that program over and over, you know, for a lot of us that took hold. Now that program, we got to break. We got to break that spell. So we have to do what we call some spell casting or some wave casting, because your language becomes a spell. You know, like people are wanting. Most people that want, you see, listen to that want. It's like an air crashing. And the way that your chakra system, the way it hits your body, actually, you know, it's want becomes the desire without action. You see? So we've got to change our language a bit. And then we've got to cast the new language, which we call a language syntax, into the quantum field. Now, when you begin to say exactly what it is you mean and mean what you say, speaking the right tongue, that vibration vibrates through your entire body. You have 7 oceans in the body, 7 different types of liquid. You know, information travels faster through water or liquid than it does through air. So what you're doing when you speak, you're telling yourself, you're spelling yourself, you're casting a spell on yourself. And a lot of times the language that we speak is, you know, we talk about what we don't want. You know, I talked to clients many years, 30 years of clients sitting on the couch, and I ask them, what do they desire? And they can't tell me. They tell me, well, you know, they tell me what they don't want. I don't want to be sick, and I don't want to be broken. I don't want to be, you know, alone for the rest of my life. I said, well, what do you desire? Well, you know, what do you mean by that? And they get confused because we're not used to saying exactly what it is we desire. We're not used to speaking truth to power. Because, you know, we at some point had begun to suppress our ancestral gifts, our own selves. It's like on automatic. You know what I'm saying? You figure you can't because of what they said on the news and what your friends told you. You're asking sometimes people who are going to keep you on the farm. Right now, the farm gate is open. Right now, as we're speaking, ever since the 21st, Sirius, the sun, and the earth are in a very special alignment. This is an opening. This is when you rebirth yourself. But you got to know the day. You got to know the rhythm. You got to know the formula so that you know where to cast your net. So when you know where to fish. So you know how to pull yourself out of the swamp. So there's this sacred day that is very old. This is way before the modern day belief systems that, you know, based everything on the star alignments. So there is this thing that happens in the cosmos every year, right? And now, actually, this happens every month. But But on one day during the year, you get what you call the real Christmas. Christmas, basically, Christ actually means, crystallized imagination.
Right.
Well, you're like, if you have a crystallized imagination, that means you don't quit. You have something you're doing. Like every time I talk to, you, Billy, you're doing another podcast. He's doing another show.
I know.
Doing another movie. I'm talking. Well, I got 5 minutes. I got to go. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
He don't stop. Even if you hit bumps in the road, you keep going. But once you begin to crystallize your imagination, you become like Christ, like a crystal, like crystal. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And sometimes you got to go through the chrysalis as a caterpillar, right? That caterpillar doesn't have the same DNA as a butterfly. Mm-hmm. And when it goes into those imaginal cells that are in that caterpillar take over, they begin to create the new thing, the butterfly. But first you got to go into that crystal cave, that chrysalis. Mm-hmm. You see? And it's, we talk about darkness all the time, and how you got to be in the cave. There, Christ was in the cave, and Moses was on the mountain in the cave, and Muhammad was in the cave. And this is when the angels, right, which is you coming to yourself from the cosmos, right, from other dimensions, because we know there's at least 144,000 dimensions. We know that, and there's you on all these different dimensions, just a little different. So we can talk to the angels, the angles of light that are in you, and begin to command what it is you desire. Not hope and pray, and I'm praying to God, and I'm down on my knees. I got my hands, I'm shaking and sweating. You see what I'm saying? Because who are you praying and sweating to? Mm-hmm. Even your hope books. When I went to school for metaphysics, we had to study all the books. And I was like, wow, it says right here, don't do this.
Yeah.
It's right here, don't have this tree in your house for Christmas. It says that. Don't do this. It says that this is allegory, and this is actually applying to your system, your body. You know what I'm saying? It's very interesting. They talk about how, they say she touched the hem of his garment. This woman touched the hem of Jesus's garment.
Yeah.
So I got out Stedman's medical dictionary, right? The hem of the garment is the covering of the brain.
Yeah.
The covering of, she touched his brain. You see, she touched his mindset. She touched his, she connected with him. They had a special type of intercourse of the mind. But once you know the date to cast your energy into the quantum field, you have a better chance of what? Getting it back, and getting it back 100-fold, 1,000-fold. Every time I don't spend money anymore. If I give away, I recirculate it by saying return 1,000-fold. So you get more. The wealthy people I know give 50%. They don't give 50%.
That's right.
What is this 10%? So you poor broken lonely. I talk with my tax attorney. He says, look, you got to give away 50%. So we put it in certain things. We invest it. We give it away. We have these different places that we put it so that now it's going to be recycled. Because if you just try to keep it through greed, and greed is survival mode, right? Instead of being aspirational mode. When you're in aspiration, you're thinking about bigger things. So this sacred date, which is coming up right after our event, right? Soon after our event, this date, and knowing not just the date, because a lot of people say, well, Dr. B, I know the date. Okay, well, you know the date. What do you do on the date? Well, you do spiritual things. Well, what is spiritual things? But there are certain things that you do because on that date, you are setting the rhythm. You're setting the sequence for the next year and possibly the rest of life. And most people when this time period comes, they're still in, depression mode, and they're still half drunk, and, whatever they may not have digested from the last, from starting at All Hallows Eve, All Hallows Eve. Then you got, the saints come in, and, it's this whole sequence of holidays that go right through Christmas to New Year's when they're dropping the ball on you.
Right. The ball never goes up. It always drops down.
Isn't that interesting? So, and then why is that New Year's? Why is January the 1st? Janu, right? Who is Janu? You need to study that too. Who is this guy? The coldest month of the year where nothing's happening in the sky that you know of,
Mm-hmm.
there's a shift. That's not the beginning of the year, but it can be the beginning of your new year when you become crystallized.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to talk about basically is how to use that date to change your life. Ever since I've been using this, it's changed my life, knowing this formula. So I'm going to give out the formula of how to figure the date out, which is different every single year. It's never the same. Then you'll understand what the song, The 12 Days of Christmas, is about and what those symbols are. Those are all sacred symbols. You know, 2 turtle doves, 3 French hens. What are those? What are they singing about? That's just not a song that you think is just a happy song to, you know, for children to go to bed on. It actually has meaning. So we're going to talk about those things, and we're going to talk about how to create wealth in your subconscious first. First, we got to get the subconscious ready and willing to accept it, because the subconscious has been programmed by all the things you've been through, and a lot of things that you've agreed to basically were cognitive dissonance. You knew it didn't feel, didn't sound right, didn't look right, but you were going to be on punishment. And you know, I got on punishment when I was 16 years old, right? Do you know I never got off that punishment? I've that last punishment when I was 16. I'm still on it. You know, because parents are attempting to try to do their best, no matter where they come from and no matter what they did.
Right.
But the programming is deep. So we're going to talk about how to break the programming that has you, you know, caught in the root chakra in your childhood. You see, so that when they get to the part where they're with you, Billy, now all of a sudden they're going to be open, because I'm going to actually do a subconscious alignment for the whole group. We're going to do a spell breaking subconscious alignment for the entire group.
Nice.
Which normally you'd come to me back in the day. This would be a special thing that we got to work on. But I've learned how to condense this down and do it for a group so that the folks are ready, willing, and able. And we're going to go deep into the pineal gland. You know, we're going into the Pinocchio theory. You understand? When you start understanding what Pinocchio was, what they're trying to tell you there, and how most of your life you're lying. Most of your life you're lying. That means you're a flatliner. You're not doing what you really came here to do. You're not tapping into your ancestral gifts because you don't know about them because nobody taught you. So you're lying. You're a flatliner. Most of your life is not. It's not really true. It's not real. It's not something you are choosing actively. You're just kind of on an automatic program. So you're lying. You're not being totally truthful to what you actually have that's built into that sacred code that's in all of us. So we're going to talk about how to break that energy, and also some foods and some, you know, flower essences and some activities that you do each day that's going to change everything. This is the best time to do this.
Yeah. Man, I'm excited, man. I'm so pumped up for this workshop, not only because I know what it's going to do for the people, but also just for me. See, I'm a student first. I learn from everyone. I take information from every source. Even if I don't agree with some of the material or information in that source, I'm still going to analyze it and find out what's in there that doesn't insult my soul, that I can apply to other things. Because everything, you know, you can look in a Bible, for example. There's a lot of contradictory information in there, but there's also a lot of good information in there as well. People go, well, we don't believe in this and that. Well, why you? Because guess what, guys? I'm a smart man. I understand that there's good in a lot of things. But what mankind does is they mix darkness in with what was already some light, and they remix things and it turns into something else. But there's a lot of good information in a lot of things, and there's also a lot of good information in different people who are teaching from different perspectives. And so I'm so excited because I want to be able to sit down and watch your part of the workshop while I'm waiting to do my part, because while you're speaking, I'm going to be learning something. And I love to be around people that I can learn something from. Because let me tell you something. It's hard, man. It's not that I'm a genius about everything. I know everything. But it's just to be around people. That's why I try to surround myself with people that can impart some type of level of wisdom on me, that I can sit back and go, let me meditate on this for a minute. You know, let me really dig into this now. Because it gives me something new. A whole other rabbit hole that I can go down, a whole other avenue I can go down that I might not even consider. Even a link of what some of the things that your research has led you to. Now I can find the other link on the other side where I've been researching, and I can now put those two things together. Because every single person has a piece to this big puzzle. Every single person. It's just that we're too busy fighting each other to come together and put these pieces together and make the artwork, make the painting. But so that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to this, guys. If you're listening to this live, make sure you go to the link in my bio or in Dr. B. Sirius' bio. It's called the Blueprint for God Power Workshop. I pinned it in the comments right there. Go to eventbrite.com and type in Blueprint for God Power, or type in Billy Carson on Eventbrite, and it will pop right up. Either way, you have no excuse or no reason why you can't find this workshop. It's going to be probably one of the most incredible workshops you've ever been a part of. Dr. B agreed to start 1 hour early, so we'll be starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll be going from 11 a.m. all the way probably to 10 o'clock p.m. that night. We're talking about an enormous amount of teaching that you'll be able to go back and rewind and watch over and over and over. If you have to pause and get up and go somewhere, you can come back and watch the rest of it later, because it's going to be saved on that same link, and you'll be able to watch it unlimited amounts of times forever. You're never going to lose access to it. So it's something that can be shown to friends, family member, your children, because all of our information is rated G. We're not on here cussing and carrying on and acting crazy and wild. We're giving you information that's going to change the future outcome of your reality in the third dimension. And I'm going to be talking a lot about the spiritual aspects, but also the financial literacy. I'm going to be giving up a lot of my plugs. And as you know, Dr. B, Richard Merritt, Black Magic, I was just on there with him. He knows about my plugs because he's used quite a few of them, and they all worked out for him. And I've got some good plugs. I'm talking about everything from how to build and create your own bank, how to actually fund liquidity pools, how to lend your own self money from different types of policies and what types of policies to get, how to be able to even drive a luxury car of your dreams for free, how to have a private jet for free, how to have a boat for free. I'm going to be talking to you about some stuff that's going to blow your mind, things that I've already done. So it's not like I'm just trying to guess. I'm not on Google looking for this information. You know what I'm saying? I have the receipts. So it's going to be an amazing workshop. I'm going to be breaking down some of the fundamentals of financial literacy, things that a lot of us just don't know to ask, don't even know how to formulate the question because the question's so far away. I'm going to bring all the information to you and put it in a way and show you how to even start a company, what type of company is best for you. I'm going to take you through step-by-step how to build your business credit from A to Z, and then how to even apply. I'm even going to give you the information on who to apply to and how and when to do it. I'm going to hold your hand and show you everything that I did to get to where I'm at right now. It's going to be an amazing workshop. So with Dr. B. Sirius and myself, there's no way you can miss. 2023 and beyond should be enlightening, explosive, incredible, powerful, abundant. There's no reason you could miss here. So I'm looking forward to it, Dr. B.
And just to go into what you're saying a little bit, you sent me a document the other day, right, about trust. I said, send me something. Yeah. So I said, this is, pretty interesting, and I sent it to my attorney. My attorney calls me back about an hour later. He says, "Man, where'd you get this?" I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "There's something in here, man." He says, I'm not understanding something." I says, "You read it." He says, "Yeah, but there's a couple steps that I've never seen this before." I said, "Can you help?" He said, "Well, I don't think I'm the one to help you with this." I said, "You're fired."
Bam, boom.
See you. Because they don't get it. I mean, because people are used to a certain structure, and we have to learn how to break these codes, these structures, because they don't work. And I noticed in 5/5/2000, the fifth month, of 2000, my formulation stopped working. This is very interesting. So I was working with this guy who is a Russian guy who worked with Freud and all those people back in the day. I mean, he knew all those kind. He was a very old guy. He was an herbalist. He was a chemist, and no, he actually worked with what's his name? Reich. Wilhelm Reich. He was a student of Wilhelm Reich. Okay. So one of my teachers, this guy Max, was a student of Wilhelm Reich. And
Damn.
I said, man, my herbal formulas, they don't seem to be working. Because I have a scope that I put on my herbs to see how, how they're working. It's a spectroscope. And it tells you how much light and all that is happening in the herbal formulation when I'm finished. And but the energy was low. So I went to the guy and I said, what's the problem? And he says, well, the energy just changed because on 5/5/2000, there was a conjunction and there was an alignment that happened that changed the whole magnetism and the energy of the planet, and the North Pole shifted a bit. He said, so you got to change the formula. And at this time, it was capsules and teas. He said, you're going to have to go to tonics and elixirs. You got to turn these into liquid elixirs. You can't just use herbs. You got to use flower essences. You have to use crystal elixirs. And he starts breaking all this down to me, right?
Yeah.
And I said, so what do you mean? He says, just because you're an herbalist, that doesn't mean you know about what's happening at this time. Everything is changing. So I had to change I had to stop business for a while to figure out how to make these products work again. So you are willing to change and you realize that what you knew and what you thought you knew is different. All of a sudden you're wide open. The information that we're going to share, some of it, a lot of you have heard before. I can guarantee you've never heard of this before because we have never given it this before. We have never worked together this closely, you and I. So we're sharing on a whole nother level energetically. And I've always, I'm always looking for people that I can really, we can sit down and create a real think tank and pull people. What have you seen? What have I seen? And put it together. So this blueprint that we're creating now is new.
Yeah.
People are like, well, I know it all. I've studied this. Okay, well then don't come to this program since you know it all. But guess what? That makes you think for a minute. What is there something I'm missing? Yeah. There's something we're all missing. There's pieces that I didn't have that Billy's got. There's pieces that that Billy might not have that I have. We're looking at this from different angles, and I'm gonna tell you something really important. This is the first time we're this deep in the photon band. When you know about the photon band and what happens every 13,000 years when we go through that photon band, see that's light. These are little beings. These are creatures, conscious light creatures. You see, they call them biophotons. It's just, we're not sure what it is because, most science is not sure about anything. They just but every time our solar system goes through the photon band, the people change. The DNA begins to change. Our DNA is looking for a new, we're not just getting a download. It's about your upload right now. You're waiting for a download. You keep I got a download. What's your upload? What have you been sending out? Because whatever you send out, because your thought is traveling at 770 billion miles per second or whatever that number is that keeps changing. It's traveling really fast. So what we're doing, we could never do before. You see, and we're in the golden age. There's a lot of things that are happening. There's these alignments that are going on, and we're doing this while Sirius, the sun, and the earth are in a very special alignment. So this is happening at a sacred time. And the way it came together, when Brother Rich from Black Magic, he put this together. I said, this is genius. Yeah. It's right on. So if you're ready and willing to step out of the old world and let the past go, and forget some of what you think you know and be wide open for something new, this is the place to be. Because as when Billy's talking, I'm going to be there. And I got 3 people. I told my people, I said, look, you guys are not working today. I need you on. Everything that Billy says, I need you to write it down. I need you to take notes. Because, I have a team, of people who, we're all, because I can't catch it all. It's moving too fast. I'm looking in Billy's eyes and I'm in a whole zone, man. I'm like, what is he really saying? Because we know, I got a feeling we might be from the same planet or at least the same star system. But we've got to do this now. This is the time to break free because we realize that the farm gate has fallen. The farm is wide open. So we get to be the black sheep and jump over the fence or stay in the world and think we're seeing a farm, but it's a pharmacy. It's not real. It's right. It's past a placebo. Now it's a nocebo. You know what I'm saying? It's
exactly.
It's happening automatically. You don't know why you're having such bad luck. Why are things not working? Why your relationships they take a dive? Why all of a sudden you get a bunch of money and it's gone and you didn't know what to do with it? Why all of a sudden your career is always on the edge. Things are breaking. because we haven't been taught totally how to take full charge. Because at some point, most of us, we fell asleep at the wheel. Well, you're about to get a new wheel, a new vehicle. You see what I'm saying? This is not going to be the end. This is the beginning of something. So we're getting a community. We're joining communities. So I that if you're ready, willing, and able to have a better love life, better financial life, you know what I'm saying? Better business life, better spiritual life, because what some people call spirituality is not even spirituality. It's just,
For real.
That's religion.
You gotta say that. You gotta say that again.
What
Okay.
Calling spirituality is not spirituality, because it's not spiraling. It's not a spiral. It's not spirituality. It's not expanding, because you still use the same singing bowl. You still got the same sage you burning. You still got the same mantra you're saying. You're still doing the same mudras, the same moves. But why isn't your life changing? Because true spirituality is growing and expanding like a spiral, which is the only shape that can touch everything. That means you got to change. You got to grow. You can't do the same thing over and over unless you have a certain sequence. Then you're moving towards success. And the way you get to success is you either get on the road with the people that are going towards success, or you go meet the people that are successful. A lot of us, we talk to unsuccessful people talking about what do they think. What do you think about blah, blah, blah. And they start, because people are just, they on automatic. They got an ego. I got to talk. I got to act like I know something. So this is a wonderful thing for all of us. So I'm grateful to you, Billy, for, inviting me to work with you and, for us to work together. And, and Brother Rich from Black Magic and the whole teams, all the teams are coming together now. And I'm saying, hey, look, y'all, don't stand on the fence on this one, because this has never happened before and may never happen again quite like this, because it's a brand new place in the universe. And now is the time to stop waiting for the download, become the upload, become a transceiver, not just a receiver, a transceiver.
Absolutely.
And do random acts of kindness so you can help other people in the world.
That's it, man. That's what it's all about. On top of all these 144,000 dimensions and all these different forces of nature, the strongest force that transcends every single dimension and overpowers everything is the power of love. And so when you're in service to others, that is the ultimate power of unconditional love for all. And that puts you in a whole nother frequency. A whole other frequency. We're going to do some special things. What I like about this workshop, you're going to do some interactive things. I'm going to do some interactive things. I'm going to show people in real time the power they have to manifest something into their life while I'm on the workshop. And don't forget about the ebooks. You're going to give away an ebook before the class starts. I'm giving away an ebook before the class starts as well. So they're going to get 2 ebooks included with the class. And not to mention countless hours of amazing, energetic, heartfelt, deep research knowledge that they're going to be able to now then go and apply. Now, if you take all this knowledge we give you and you don't apply it, you have no power. Because knowledge is not power. The application of knowledge is power. So we're going to give you the knowledge, but then it's up to you to apply it. We can open the door, but you got to walk through it alone.
Yes.
Yeah. Period. I'm looking forward to it, man, and I'm looking forward to you coming down here in a couple of days so we can have a nice powwow, and we'll do a live podcast together as well.
And I like to say to folks that what you're going to get, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be simple. See, look for easy. We look for that easy button. I think Staples, they got an easy button, right? Just hit an app and just things happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What we'd like to give you is something that's simple. In other words, this step by step. Do this. Only do this one thing. Then do this. There's an exercise that you do in the morning or when you awaken. There's another one that you do in the afternoon. There's things that you do when you're sitting on the toilet. There's something you do when you're bathing. Once you do these things and that repetitive vibration begins to hit and you begin to crystallize what it is you desire. But first, help you have a goal and help you break some contracts that you have, that you've signed with a sign of your nature. That's your signature a long time ago. But we've got to break those contracts. And I'm talking about energetic contracts, mental contracts. And we also got to dispel some of those mental parasites that are eating us alive. So it's going to be It is happening right now. The research that I'm doing, the things that I'm picking up, I got papers everywhere here. You know, I'm going into a place that I haven't gone to before. So for the students that I've had for many years, they're going to be there, your students, and we're going to find new people and new research to work with. So this is a wonderful time to stop talking about what was done and what had happened and what they did and what they're doing. The question, what are you doing? What will you do? Who are you being? Not what are you doing, who are you being? Because being, right, that's what creates the hive. That's what we and we because what we're witnessing out there in the world is we're witnessing the hive collapsing. You see what I'm saying? The hive is collapsing. So we've got to let that old world go. We'll let that world go and create something new instead of just living this, watching the colony collapse, because that's what we're seeing, colony collapse disorder. But guess what? When you see all that drama out there, that's the time to move. Because the people, the beings that you think are watching you, they got their own drama right about now. They read adjust the satellites because the North Pole is shifting, and Rich and I were doing a show one day, and the whole magnetic grid of the planet dropped for 14 minutes. It was in the papers. They didn't know what to do. Wow. Because we're in a place in the universe. We've never been here before. So let's work on not dragging the past with us and take only the best pieces. And now create a new temple. And we have to be the Templars. We got to create a new sacred organization, a secret society, a sacred society. And that's what we're doing. So come with us, join us. Thank you for all of you who've been supporting over the many years. This is the time. And this revolution will not be televised. It will be live.
It'll be live. Live stream. The link is in the bio on my account, on his account. Click the link in the bio, Blueprint for God Power, or go to eventbrite.com and just type in my name, Billy Carson. The Blueprint for God Power will pop right up. You can register ASAP. Space is limited. There's only so much bandwidth we have, so we have to limit how many people we're going to allow in this class. But it's going to be a mind-blowing event, a life-changing event, not just for your life, but for future generations down your own bloodline, people that you directly interact with, people that you directly know. If you share this information, share this knowledge, you're going to affect ongoing into the future millions of people. When people ask me what I do for a living, I literally tell them that I alter the space-time continuum by traveling into the future with my consciousness and changing future realities. That's what I do. By sending out information that's going to enlighten people and send them down a whole new pathway in life. And that's what Dr. B is going to do. That's what I'm going to do. We're looking forward to it. We can't take up too much more of your time tonight. Dr. B, thank you so much. And tell everyone how they can find you.
You can find me. The website is elevationtime.com, elevationtime.com. There's also a link for this on our website at elevationtime.com. Just go to events and you'll see the link. And also you can find me here on Instagram, Doctah, Doctah, the letter B, and Sirius like the star, on YouTube also, and on Facebook. That's how you can find me. And it's time to travel light, because we've been carrying somebody else's luggage in cargo for a long time. And we got pirates on the boat. You said we got pirates and parasites on the boat. And guess what? A lot of us never realize, and we will not realize until the 7th, that we all the time have been the captain of our vessel. The captain. Absolutely. Of the ship. Let's take charge. It's time, man. It's time to take charge. All right. Peace, brother. Hey, man. Love you, man. Good night. And I'll see you in a couple of days. Travel light. All right. Peace.